Welcome, Class 9 students, to an exciting journey into the world of biology. Today, we are diving into the crucial topic of diseases, cause and control, specifically focusing on the fascinating difference between communicable and non-communicable diseases. We'll explore how some sicknesses spread while others don't, and what we can do about them. From easy basics to competitive insights, get ready to explore this vital subject across 4 engaging levels. Let's begin. Ready to uncover the fundamental differences between diseases that spread and those that don't? Let's start with the basics at our easy level. First up, communicable diseases. These are the ones that can easily pass from one person to another, or even from animals to humans. Think of them as contagious illnesses. They're caused by tiny living things called germs like bacteria, viruses, fungi, and protozoa. These germs can travel in many ways: through the air when someone sneezes, in contaminated water or food, by direct touch, or even through insects. Because they spread, they can sometimes lead to outbreaks, affecting many people. Common examples include the common cold, flu, measles, or even malaria. Good hygiene and vaccinations are key to stopping their spread. Now, let's talk about non-communicable diseases. Unlike their communicable counterparts, these diseases cannot be caught from another person. They're not caused by germs. Instead, they develop inside a person's body due to a mix of lifestyle choices, their genes, or environmental factors. These conditions often last for a long time, becoming chronic issues. Examples you might know include diabetes, heart disease, asthma, or different types of cancer. Since they don't spread, preventing them focuses on maintaining a healthy lifestyle, eating well, exercising, and having regular health checkups. It's about taking care of your body from within. Time to check your understanding of these basic concepts. Here are 3 quick questions for you. 1. Can you give 2 examples of diseases that can spread from person to person? 2. What is the main difference between a common cold and diabetes in terms of how they spread? And 3. Name 1 factor that can cause a non-communicable disease. Take a moment to think about your answers. Great job with the basics. Now, let's dive a little deeper into how these diseases work and how we can prevent them, moving to our medium level. Let's explore the various ways communicable diseases spread. They can move through direct contact, like a simple handshake, or through tiny droplets from a cough or sneeze. Indirect contact happens when you touch an object, like a doorknob, that an infected person has touched. Some germs can even become airborne, traveling long distances in the air. Then there are vector-borne diseases, where insects like mosquitoes or ticks carry the germs. And don't forget food and waterborne illnesses from contaminated sources, or bloodborne diseases spread through infected blood. Each mode requires a specific strategy to break the chain of infection. Non-communicable diseases, on the other hand, arise from a combination of causes and risk factors. Lifestyle choices play a huge role. An unhealthy diet, lack of exercise, smoking, or too much alcohol can significantly increase your risk. Genetic predisposition means you might inherit genes that make you more susceptible to certain conditions, like some cancers or diabetes. Environmental factors such as pollution or toxic chemicals can also contribute. Our risk for many of these diseases also increases with age. Often, these factors interact, making NCDs quite complex and unique to each individual. Preventing diseases requires different approaches depending on the type. For communicable diseases, the focus is on breaking the chain of infection. This includes good hygiene, like hand washing, widespread vaccination to build immunity, isolation or quarantine when necessary, and vector control to manage disease-carrying insects. For non-communicable diseases, prevention centers on promoting a healthy lifestyle. This means maintaining a healthy diet, engaging in regular physical activity, avoiding harmful habits like smoking, and having regular health screenings for early detection. It's about proactive choices for long-term well-being. Now, challenge yourself with these 5 medium-level questions. 1. Explain how a common cold can spread through indirect contact. 2. List 3 lifestyle choices that increase the risk of non-communicable diseases. 3. Why are vaccinations more effective against communicable diseases than non-communicable ones? 4. Give an example of a vector-borne communicable disease and its vector. And 5. If a disease runs in a family, is it more likely to be communicable or non-communicable? Justify your answer. Pause and consider your responses. You're doing great. Let's elevate our understanding even further. Prepare to delve into a more analytical and comparative look at diseases at a hard level. Let's crystallize the key differences between communicable and non-communicable diseases. Communicable diseases are defined by their causative agents being pathogens and their transmission from host to host. Their onset is often acute, and prevention relies on public health measures like vaccination. Treatment might involve specific drugs like antibiotics. Their main impact is the potential for epidemics. In contrast, non-communicable diseases stem from genetic, lifestyle, or environmental factors with no transmission. They typically have a chronic onset, are prevented by individual lifestyle changes, and treated through managing symptoms. Their impact is a significant burden on long-term health care and individual quality of life. This table helps summarize these critical distinctions. The public health implications for each disease type are vastly different. For communicable diseases, robust surveillance systems are critical to track outbreaks, followed by epidemiological investigations to pinpoint sources. Intervention strategies include mass vaccination and contact tracing. Given their potential for global spread, global health security and international cooperation are paramount. For non-communicable diseases, the focus shifts to long-term health promotion and population-level interventions like policies promoting healthy diets. Early detection programs and extensive patient education empower individuals to manage their chronic conditions. These tailored approaches reflect the distinct nature of each disease category. Immunity and genetic factors play unique roles. For communicable diseases, natural immunity after infection and artificial immunity from vaccines are vital. Herd immunity protects entire communities. However, the rise of antimicrobial resistance poses a significant challenge, making some infections harder to treat. For non-communicable diseases, genetic predispositions are important, but often interact with other factors. Epigenetics shows how environment can influence gene expression without changing DNA itself. The emerging field of personalized medicine aims to tailor prevention and treatment based on an individual's unique genetic and risk profile. Understanding these intricate biological mechanisms is key to advanced disease control. Now, test your analytical skills with these 7 challenging questions. 1. Discuss the role of herd immunity in controlling communicable diseases. 2. Compare and contrast the primary prevention strategies for a widespread influenza outbreak versus rising rates of obesity. 3. Why is it challenging to develop a single vaccine for non-communicable diseases like cancer or diabetes? 4. Explain how both genetic and lifestyle factors can contribute to the development of type 2 diabetes. 5. A new disease emerges, and scientists are trying to determine if it's communicable. What key observations would support its communicable nature? 6. How does antimicrobial resistance complicate the control of communicable diseases? And 7. Describe to public health policies aimed at reducing the burden of non-communicable diseases in a population. You've mastered the complex distinctions. Now, let's push the boundaries of your knowledge, exploring the cutting edge of disease control epidemiology, and global health at our hardest level. Get ready for competitive insights. Our understanding of disease has evolved dramatically. The germ theory revolution, spearheaded by Pasteur and Koch in the 19th century, laid the foundation for identifying pathogens. Koch's postulates provided a rigorous framework for proving a microorganism caused a specific disease. Over time, societies experienced an epidemiological transition, shifting from infectious diseases to non-communicable ones as leading causes of death. Key epidemiological metrics like incidence, new cases, and prevalence, total cases, help us quantify disease burden. We also classify outbreaks as endemic, epidemic, or pandemic based on their spread. These historical and statistical tools are indispensable for public health professionals. Controlling diseases involves sophisticated mechanisms, often drawing on engineering principles. Surveillance systems now use real-time data and even GIS mapping to track outbreaks of communicable diseases. Mathematical modeling helps predict disease spread, like using the R0 value to guide interventions. Environmental engineering is crucial for preventing pathogen transmission through water purification and waste management, and by modifying vector habitats. Biocontainment facilities are engineered to safely handle the most dangerous pathogens. On the biomedical front, diagnostic tools like PCR and rapid antigen tests are constantly evolving. Even urban planning contributes to NCD prevention by designing cities that promote physical activity and access to healthy food while reducing pollution. Delving deeper into biological and societal factors, we examine microbial pathogenicity, understanding how pathogens use virulence factors to cause disease and evade our immune systems. Zoonotic spillover, the transmission from animals to humans, is a major source of emerging communicable diseases. Non-communicable disease heterogeneity highlights the diverse underlying mechanisms even within a single disease category. Crucially, social determinants of health, like socioeconomic status, education, and access to healthcare profoundly influence disease risk and outcomes for both types. These led to health disparities, where disease burdens are unequally distributed. Addressing these complex, interconnected factors requires truly interdisciplinary and equitable approaches. Globally, we face a dual burden of disease, with many nations battling both persistent communicable diseases and rising NCDs. Climate change further complicates this by altering vector habitats and food security, impacting disease patterns. The antimicrobial resistance crisis threatens modern medicine, demanding global stewardship and innovative drug development. Pandemic preparedness is now a top priority, focusing on robust health infrastructure and rapid, equitable vaccine distribution. The future lies in precision public health, using big data and genomics to tailor interventions, and the One Health approach, recognizing the interconnectedness of human, animal, and environmental health for holistic disease prevention and control. Here are your first 5 hardest level questions. 1. Critically analyze the limitations of Koch's postulates in identifying the causative agent of certain communicable diseases, especially viral ones. 2. Explain the concept of epidemiological transition and its implications for healthcare planning in developing nations. 3. Discuss how the R0 value, or basic reproduction number, is used in public health to manage and predict the spread of a communicable disease. 4. Beyond individual lifestyle changes, propose and justify 2. Upstream, societal or policy-level interventions to reduce the prevalence of type 2 diabetes. And 5. How do environmental engineering principles contribute to both the prevention of communicable diseases and the reduction of risk factors for non-communicable diseases? And here are your final 5 hardest level questions. 6. Elaborate on the One Health approach and provide specific examples of how it can be applied to address both zoonotic communicable diseases and environmentally linked non-communicable diseases. 7. Analyze the ethical considerations involved in implementing compulsory vaccination programs versus individual health freedom, particularly during a pandemic. 8. Discuss the concept of health disparities in the context of both communicable and non-communicable diseases, providing examples for each. 9. What is antimicrobial resistance, and how does it pose a significant global health challenge that blurs the lines between individual treatment and public health intervention? And 10. Imagine you are a public health official. Design a comprehensive strategy that integrates both communicable disease control and non-communicable disease prevention for a rapidly urbanizing population. That was an in-depth exploration of communicable versus non-communicable diseases. We've covered everything from basic definitions to advanced epidemiological concepts and global health challenges. Keep exploring, keep learning, and remember that understanding these differences is crucial for personal and public health. For more such engaging and comprehensive educational content, visit synapse.omaps.in. Don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for more amazing biology lessons. Stay curious, stay healthy, and see you in the next lesson.